Good morning, children. So, this is the last part of the chapter Issue of Shares, part 6. In this, we are going to study that when the number of shares allotted is given and you have to calculate shares applied and vice versa, and we'll be discussing few questions on it. So there can be two cases. Case number 1, when the number of shares allotted to a defaulting shareholder is given in the question and we have to calculate number of shares applied by him. So if any defaulting shareholder's share allotted is given, we need to calculate how much he has already applied so as to calculate how much amount of him we are already having, and this basically applies in case of oversubscription only. So in this case, when shares allotted is given in the question and we have to calculate number of shares applied by him, we'll apply the formula number of shares applied under pro rata category. Just a trick to remember that whatever we need to calculate, that we will put in the numerator. So if we need to calculate the number of shares applied by him, then we will put number of shares applied under pro rata category in the numerator upon number of shares allotted under pro rata category into shares allotted to the defaulting shareholder. Then case number 2 can be when the number of shares applied to a defaulting shareholder is given in the question and we have to calculate number of shares allotted to him. The reverse case, if shares applied by him is given in the question and therefore we need to calculate how much shares were actually allotted to him to adjust the surplus money. So again the same trick, whatever we have to calculate, we'll put it in the numerator. So in this case, in the numerator we will put the formula number of shares allotted under pro rata category upon number of shares applied under pro rata category into number of shares applied by defaulting shareholder. So for this, let us discuss one question to make it more simpler. The question says J Limited issued a prospectus inviting applications for 1 lakh shares of 10 each. These shares were issued at par on the following terms: on application 2.5, on allotment 2.5, on first call 3, and on final call the balance. So when the face value is 10 and shares are issued at par, that means on the face value 10, and if we are calling 2.5 on application and 2.5 on allotment, that means 5 rupees totality, and 3 on first call, so 5 plus 3 8, that means 2 rupees is the balance amount which will be called at the time of final call. Applications were received for 1,35,000 shares. We had issued 1 lakh shares, but applications are received for 1,35,000 shares. That means this is the case of over subscriptions. Allotments were made on the following basis. So to applicants for 25,000 shares, those who have applied for 25,000 shares, they have been allotted in full. That means 25,000. Those who have allotted 60,000 shares, those who have applied for 60,000 shares, they have been allotted 45,000 shares. So this is the case of pro rata, when the number of shares allotted are less in comparison to number of shares applied. Then the next category is those who have applied for 50,000 shares have been allotted 30,000 shares. So this is also the pro rata category. All excess amount paid on application is to be adjusted against amount due on allotment. So whatever surplus is received, that will be adjusted towards the allotment. The shares were fully called and paid up except the amount of allotment first and final call not paid by those who applied for 4,000 shares of the group applying for 50,000 shares. That means from the third category, the applicants who had applied for 50,000 shares, who were allotted 30,000 shares, in that category a shareholder who has applied for 4,000 shares had not paid the allotment, the first call and the final call money. So no doubt he has not paid the allotment, first call and final call, but he has paid excess application money. So he has applied for 4,000. Now in order to see how much surplus of him we are having, we need to calculate his number of allotted shares as well. So all the shares on which calls were not paid were forfeited by the board of directors. 1,800 forfeited shares were reissued as fully paid on receipt of 9 per share. That means 1 rupee discount which will be adjusted from share forfeiture account. prepare cash book and journal entries to record the above transactions. So before discussing the entries, let us quickly discuss the working note. As you can see, note number 1, as applicants for 50,000 shares were allotted 30,000 shares. That means applicants for 4,000 shares, basically those shareholders who have not paid, the defaulting shareholders, they belong to this category only. So they have not paid. Now, in order to find out how much they have been allotted, so in that case we apply the formula number of shares allotted under pro rata category. So in this pro rata category, number of shares allotted were 30,000 upon number of shares applied under pro rata category, that was 50,000, into the number of shares applied by the defaulting shareholder, that is 4,000. So number of shares allotted to him comes to 2400 shares. That means we have allotted 2400 shares to the defaulting shareholder. Now we will see how much is excess money we are already having. So excess application money received on this 4,000 shares he has applied, but we have allotted only 2400 shares. So on 2400 shares, so out of 4,000, 2400 we have already allotted. So the surplus money on the remaining balance 2.5 of application is excess. That means 4,000 is excess of this defaulting shareholder. Now amount which is due on allotment from this shareholder will be on 2400 shares, because we have allotted him only 2400 shares. The 2.5 of allotment on 2400 shares due will be 6,000, out of which 4,000 we are already having. So that means ultimately the amount which was not received on allotment is only 2,000. Therefore, amount received on allotment will be total amount due on allotment 1 lakh shares into 2.5, that is 2,50,000. Then we will deduct the excess amount of allotment which was received and adjusted at the time of application only, that is 2.5 rupees on 35,000 shares, that is 87,500. Then that means balance due which should be received on allotment is 1,62,500. Out of this, 2,000 is actually the arrear amount after adjusting the surplus money also, as we have calculated in note number B. So 2,000 could not be received. That means ultimately the allotment money which we are receiving is 1,60,500. Then next note number, you can see that since only 1,800 shares have been reissued out of the forfeited shares, therefore the profit on 1,800 shares will be transferred to capital reserve. So the calculation of this we will see a little later. First of all, let us discuss the entries. So again, a repetitive point, since we are preparing the cash book, in this case we will record all the receiving entries in the cash book itself. So first of all, we will pass the receiving entry of application money, that is 2.5 on 1,35,000 shares, that is 3,37,500, which will be shown on the debit side of the cash book. Then we will pass the transfer entry. As you can see, the transfer entry, share application account debited 3,37,500 to share capital account with the face value of the issued shares, that is 2.5 into 1 lakh, that is 2,50,000. Then the excess money of 87,500, which is to be adjusted on allotment, to share allotment account 87,500. Then we will pass the due entry for allotment, to share allotment account debited 2.5 on 1 lakh shares, that is 2,50,000, to share capital account 2,50,000. Then we have to record the receiving entry of share allotment, which the working note we have already discussed. And on the debit side of the cash book, we will show to share allotment account 1,60,500 after adjusting the surplus money and after deducting the arrear amount of allotment. Then we will pass the due entry of the first call, 3 rupees on 1 lakh shares, that is share first call account debited 3 lakh to share capital account 3 lakh. Then as we can see, the receiving entry, first call was also not received, so the shareholder who has applied for 4000 share, actually 2400 shares were allotted to him. So that means he has not paid 3 rupees of first call on 2400 shares also. So therefore the first call will be paid only on 1 lakh minus 2400 shares, the remaining shares, into 3, that means 2,92,800 will be the first call received. Then we will pass the final call due entry with the balance amount, that is 2 per share. So share final call account debited 2 into 1 lakh, that is 2 lakh. To share capital account, again 2 lakh. And the shareholder again did not pay the final call also. So final call will also be received on 1 lakh minus 2400 shares, the remaining shares 2 rupees, that is 1,95,200 rupees. Now after the final call, his shares were forfeited. So the entry for forfeiture will be share capital account debited 24,000, that is with the called up value on 2 lakh shares, 2400 shares. So 10 rupees is the called up value, so 2400 shares into 10 rupees, that is 24,000. To calls in arrears account, if you have opened the calls in arrears account. If you have not opened the calls in arrears account, then separately to share allotment account 2000 after adjusting his surplus money as well. To first call share first call account 7200. To share final call account 4800. These are the amount which was not received on 2400 shares of first call, final call and allotment. Then to share forfeiture account, the amount which is actually been received on this. So 10,000 has already been received, that is 2.5 rupees on 4,000 was received because he has applied for that. Then these shares were reissued, and we know that these shares were reissued at rupees 9 per share fully paid up, that means 1 rupee was the discount. So out of these 1800 shares were reissued at 9 rupees. So we will record it on the debit side of the cash book to share capital account 16,200. And 1 rupee discount will be adjusted from share forfeiture account. So we have passed the entry share forfeiture account debited 1800, that is 1800 shares into 1 rupee of discount to share capital account 1800. And then whatever the amount of forfeiture of these reissued shares is given, that will be transferred to capital reserve. So we will pass the entry share forfeiture account debited 5700 to capital reserve account 5700. How we have calculated this amount? Have a look at the note number 2. Since only 1800 shares have been reissued, therefore the profit on 1800 shares will be transferred to capital reserve. Profit on 2400 shares is equal to 10,000. So if 10,000 is the profit on 2400 shares, then the profit on 1800 shares will be 10,000 divided by 2400 into 1800. That means 7500 is the profit on 2400 shares, out of which 1800 you have already adjusted for the discount at the time of reissue. So that means remaining 5700 surplus will be transferred to capital reserve. So I hope this question is clear to you, children. This is a good question. Now moving towards the next question. Oversubscription and forfeiture of shares issued at premium. When the shares are issued at par and the forfeiture takes place at the time of oversubscription, that we have done. Now we are moving towards oversubscription and forfeiture of shares when these are issued at premium. So the question says that a company issued 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 1 per share. That means 10 is the face value and 11 is the issue price. Payment to be made as follows: on application 3, on allotment 4 including premium, on first call 2 and on second and final call 2. That makes 11. Applications were received for 20,000 shares. That means this is the case of oversubscription. Applications for 5,000 shares were rejected and allotment was made proportionately to the remaining applicants. That means out of 20,000 shares, 5,000 shares were completely rejected and the remaining, those who have applied for 15,000 shares, were allotted 10,000 shares. That means the pro rata category. The directors made both the calls and all the money were received except the allotment, the first call and the final call on 400 shares, which were subsequently forfeited. Later, 300 of the forfeited shares were reissued as fully paid at rupees 15 per share. So, give journal entries to record the above. Also prepare the balance sheet. So this that means this is the case where the shares are issued at premium, and these are forfeited, and these are reissued also at premium. So let us have a look at the entry. The first entry is for the application money received. So 3 rupees of application money was received on 20,000 shares, the oversubscribed shares. So the receiving entry for application will be bank account debited 60,000 to share application account 60,000, that is 3 rupees on 20,000 shares. Then this application money will be transferred, and also the excess money on 5,000 shares will be rejected completely. So the entry will be share application account debited with the amount it was credited, that is 60,000, to share capital account, the value of the application, that is 3 rupees on allotted shares, that is 10,000 shares, which comes to 30,000, to share allotment account, that means the excess money which is utilized and adjusted towards the allotment. So 3 rupees of application money on excess of oversubscribed of 5,000 shares, 15,000 is adjusted towards the allotment. To bank account, the amount which is actually rejected in totality. So 3 rupees on 5,000 shares have been rejected in total. So 15,000 will be credited. Now the allotment due. So we know that we are also calling up 1 rupee of premium during allotment. So that means altogether we are calling 4 rupees. So share allotment account debited 4 rupees on 10,000 shares, that is 40,000. To share capital account excluding premium, that is 3 rupees on 10,000 shares, that is 30,000 shares. To securities premium reserve account with the amount of premium, that is 1 rupee on 10,000 shares, that is 10,000. Now we have to pass the receiving entry of allotment. Now we know that at the time of allotment there was some call scenario, that the question says that on 400 shares the allotment, the first call and the final call money was not received, and we also know that there was excess of allotment money which was received. So in order to see that, we will just go through the working. You can see in this excess amount received on application, if shares are allotted 10,000 shares applied for, therefore if shares allotted are 400, that means shares applied for was again number of shares applied under pro rata category, that is 15,000, upon number of shares allotted under pro rata category, that is 10,000, into number of shares allotted, that is 400. So that means 600 shares were the actual shares applied for. So that means those who have applied for 600 shares, we have allotted them 400 shares, and therefore they have not paid the allotment money and the calls money. So excess application money received on such shares, we will see that 6,000 they have applied and we have allotted 400 shares. So that will be adjusted. Excess 200 shares on which 3 rupees of application has been received, that means 600 is excess lying already, and allotment due on such 400 allotted share is 4 rupees. So 4 rupees on 400 share, that is 1600, out of which 600 is already lying. That means net amount out of this which is due on allotment and has not been received is 1000 rupees. So total amount due on allotment is 4 rupees on 10,000, that is 40,000, out of which we have already adjusted the 15,000 rupees which we have already received during the application money received. That means now we were supposed to receive 25,000, out of which one shareholder has not paid 1,000 even after adjusting the surplus. So that means net amount which will be received now ultimately at the time of allotment will be 24,000. So coming back to the entry, the receiving entry for share allotment with this working will be bank account debited to share allotment account. Now share first call due entry 2 rupees. Share first call account debited 2 rupees on 10,000 shares, that is 20,000 shares, 20,000 rupees, to share capital account 20,000 rupees. Then again, first call is again not paid on 400 shares, and there is no extra money to be adjusted, so directly we will pass the receiving entry of first call on 9600 shares because it is not received on 400 shares. So 2 rupees on 9600 shares, that means 19200 were actually received for first call. So bank account debited 19200 to share first call account 19200. Then share second and final call account also, it is due with 2 rupees. So share second and final call account debited 2 rupees on 10,000 shares, that is 20,000. To share capital account 20,000, and again final call is also not received on 400 shares allotted, so bank account debited 19,200 to share second and final call 19,200 because final call is not received on 400 allotted shares. Now after making the final call, the shares are forfeited. So we'll pass the entry for forfeiture. So share capital account debited with the called up value excluding the premium. So we are forfeiting 400 shares and the called up value excluding premium is 10. So 400 shares into 10, that is 4000 shares. Now since in this case the shares are issued at premium and premium money is not received, therefore we will write back the premium reserve account. So we will debit securities premium reserve account with the amount of premium on defaulting shares, that is 1 rupee on 400 shares, that is 400. To share, again 2 call scenarios including premium. And if you have not opened the call scenario account, then we will show it separately. To share allotment account 1000, that is by including the allotment money and after adjusting the surplus. To share first call, that is 2 rupees on 400 shares, 800. To share second and final call, again 2 rupees on 400 shares, that is 800. To share forfeiture account, which is actually received on such shares, that is 1800 has already been received on such shares because allotted shares are 400 but applied was 600 and we had received 3 rupees of application on 600, that means 1800 we had received. So this is the entry for forfeiture. Now out of this 400 shares, we have reissued 300 shares at the rate 15 per share. So we have issued 300 at the rate 15 per share, fully called up, fully paid. That means we have to compare it with the face called up value. So called up value is your, again if we compare it with the called up value excluding premium, that is 10 rupees and we are reissuing at 15 rupees, that means 5 rupees is your premium amount. So that means this is the case when the shares are reissued at a premium. So we will pass the entry for reissue as bank account debited your with the amount 15 rupees on 300 shares, that is 4500. To share capital account with the face value excluding premium. So if 5 rupees is the premium, 10 rupees is the face value, so 10 on 300 shares, that is 3000. To securities premium reserve account with the amount of premium money, that is 1500. Then after this, since these 300 shares are reissued, no doubt these are not reissued at loss, so anyhow the amount of these 300 shares which is lying in the share forfeiture account, that needs to be transferred to the capital reserve. So that we will be transferring to the capital reserve, which will be coming to your 1350. So share forfeiture account debited to capital reserve account 1350. Now just to look at its working note, you can see note number 5. If profit on 400 forfeited shares is 1800, then profit on 300 reissued shares will be 1800 divided by 400 into 3, that is 1350. So the entire amount of 1350 will be transferred to capital reserve because nothing out of this is adjusted or utilized towards giving the or reissuing the shares at discount because shares are reissued at premium. Then 6th point is showing you the balance in share forfeiture account. Earlier we had transferred 1800, out of which 1350 is already been adjusted. Now we are left with 450, which will be shown in the balance sheet. So in this question you also have to show the balance sheet. So we are showing the balance sheet, equity and liabilities, shareholder funds, share capital 99,450, note number 1, reserve and surplus, note number 2, 12,450. Current asset, we are showing cash and cash equivalents, note number 3, 1,11,900. So 1,11,900 will be the obviously the total of bank receipts, since we have not paid anything. And while showing the share capital, do remember, first of all you will show the authorized capital. Since no value is given, you will just mention authorized capital. You will just put dash 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 shares of dash dash amount each. That's it, just for the showing it, because this is the part of the format. And then you will write issued share capital, 10,000 shares of 10 each, that is 1 lakh. Then you will write subscribed and fully paid capital, that is 9,900 shares of 10 each, 99,000. And then to this you will add back share forfeiture account, which is coming to 450. Why we are showing 9,900? Because out of 10,000 shares, 400 were forfeited, but ultimately 300 were reissued. So ultimately there are 9,900 shares which are subscribed and fully paid. And to this you will add the share forfeiture balance 450, which we have calculated in the working note number 6. Then under the category reserve and surplus, you will write two reserves: securities premium reserve of 11,100, including the premium at the time of issue and the reissue, and capital reserve of 1,350. So this is the question. I hope this is clear to you, children. So this is the assignment. Based on this part, you will solve practical question number 46, 47, 49, 50, 66 and 68 from the chapter Company Accounts, Issue of Shares of Your Accounts Book, Volume 2 by D.K. Goyal. So go through the chapters once again, children. Go through all the videos, all the parts, revise all the adjustment, and very important, practice all the questions, as many questions as you can do, especially the ones which are given to you as a homework. And do remember, do revise all the notes which have been given as an important point, all the entries, especially all the calculation, because this is a very very important, quite an easy but very important chapter. But it is easy only if you practice more and more. So with this part we come to an end to this chapter. In the upcoming video we'll be proceeding with the further chapter, that is issue of debenture, and that will become much simpler if you revise the entry of issue of shares, because many things are common. So thank you, children. Take care.